So the Liberal Democrats have a problem with Christians. Yeah, you heard that right. I found today's little political cracker, okay? And honestly, you couldn't make it up. I know I say that a lot, but you really couldn't make it up. So the Liberal Democrats, apparently, there's a bit of a problem with the Christians, yeah? Now, before anyone starts shouting or putting in the comments, I'm not saying that every Liberal Democrat hates Christians. I'm not saying that at all. I always have to make these statements because, no, they don't. They don't all hate them. Of course, they don't. They're actually, they've got Christians as MPs, yeah, including their own leader, Ed Davey. So let's get that out the way, okay? But there is a little rather awkward problem sitting right in the middle of it all. A former Liberal Democrat candidate, David Campanile, is that how you say it? He says he was discriminated against because of his Christian beliefs. And here's where it gets really interesting. I think it does anyway. The Liberal Democrats have actually admitted unlawful discrimination in this case. Yeah, they've actually admitted it. That's not me saying it. It's not some fella on Facebook saying it. They've admitted it. The case involves allegations of direct and indirect discrimination, harassment and victimisation relating to his Christianity. That's bad, that, isn't it? So David was mocked about his faith. He says he was questioned about his Christianity, and he even asked whether he was enjoying his martyrdom. Is that how you say it? Just like Jesus did. Wow. And I'm sorry, but imagine being in a political party and somebody thinks that it's an appropriate way to behave towards another person's religious beliefs. That's very, very liberal of them, isn't it? Very democratic, very welcoming. Not. And then there's the really extraordinary allegation that he was told there was a secular party being built with no place for Christians. Yeah? Well, you know, that's going to be awkward when a party's name is Liberal Democrats, isn't it? Because surely being a liberal means allowing people to have different beliefs, doesn't it? That's what I think it meant. You don't have to agree with somebody, do you? You don't have to share their religion. You don't even have to like the political opinions, do you? But surely they're still entitled to hold them, no matter what. And this is the bit that really gets me. We're always being told, aren't we, about diversity. Diversity of race, diversity of sexuality, diversity of backgrounds, diversity of identity. And I'm all for people being able to live their lives as they choose. Of course I am. But what about diversity of thought? Because that's the one that seems to be getting a little bit lost, doesn't it, these days? If you're liberal, surely you should be able to tolerate somebody who disagrees with you, shouldn't you? Otherwise, what exactly are you being liberal about? And this whole thing has now got rather expensive. So David Campanile, I hope I'm saying that right, is claiming around 790,000 in damages, while Liberal Democrats dispute the amount and say that the compensation should be dramatically lower. So this isn't just some Twitter argument. This is actually a serious legal dispute. And former Lib Dem leader Tim Farron is his name. I think I'm saying that right. Has back calls for an independent inquiry. But the former Archbishop of Canterbury, Rowan Williams, has also raised concerns about whether Christians could feel excluded from representing the party. Wow. And here's where I think this gets really uncomfortable, to be honest, because imagine if you was, can you imagine if it was the other way around? Imagine a Conservative candidate saying, I was mocked and I was discriminated against because I'm Christian. Can you imagine that? The reaction from the left would be absolutely insane, wouldn't it? It would be absolutely outrage everywhere, wouldn't it? And rightly so. I'm not saying it shouldn't be, but rightly so. So surely the same principles should apply when it's your side doing it. You can't believe in tolerance only when somebody agrees with you, can you? Can you? That's agreement with better marketing, isn't it? And I'm sorry here, but I think Christians have got every right to be in politics, haven't they? Just as Muslims do, just as Jews do, just as atheists do, just as anybody else bloody does. You don't have to agree with the beliefs, do you? But you should be able to disagree without treating them as some sort of dangerous extremists simply because they believe in God. Because if we reacted to the point where somebody's Christian beliefs can become the reason that they're pushed out of political life, we should all be asking some very, very serious questions, shouldn't we? And that's the irony here, isn't it? The party is called the Liberal Democrats, for God's sake. So perhaps, just perhaps, they need to have a little think about what the word liberal means. Because being liberal isn't supposed to mean you're free to believe whatever you like, provided that we approve of it. And that, to me, is the real story. What do you think? Can you be a Christian with traditional beliefs and still have a place in modern British politics? Because apparently we're having to ask the questions now. Let me know what your thoughts are. And don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all later. God, it's boiling today. I'm just in the car and just going for a little walk around this park. But it's absolutely beautiful. See you all later. Ta-ra.